Here at Amend Healthcare, our primary goal is providing a safe, supportive environment for every client who walks through our doors. But part of maintaining that safety means knowing exactly how to respond when things go wrong. By law, anyone working in our community care facilities is a mandated reporter. This personal legal duty applies equally whether you are clinical staff, an administrator, a part-time aide, or an unpaid volunteer. To meet that obligation, you need to know exactly how to document and escalate an incident. We are going to walk through the 6 specific steps you must take to report suspected abuse or neglect, from spotting the initial red flags to submitting the final paperwork. By mastering this sequence, you can ensure our most vulnerable clients receive immediate protection while keeping your own professional standing fully secure under the law. Step 1 is recognizing what to report. Most of the people we serve qualify legally as dependent adults or elders. Because of this, California law sets a low threshold for intervention. You only need a reasonable suspicion of abuse or neglect. You do not need absolute proof, and it is not your job to play detective. For example, if you notice unexplained bruises on a client during a morning check-in and they look away or refuse to talk about it, you have observed enough to suspect physical abuse. That combination of physical indicators and a reluctant client mandates an immediate report. Emotional abuse is equally actionable. If you overhear a coworker yelling at a client, threatening to have them kicked out onto the street, you must report it. Your legal duty to the client always overrides your workplace relationships with colleagues. The same strict rule applies to financial exploitation. If a client mentions that a staff member borrowed money from them and asked to keep it a secret, that request for secrecy is a definitive red flag. Staff are strictly prohibited from soliciting money from clients. Neglect is actually the most commonly reported offense in community care. Neglect does not require malicious intent. If a busy staff member skips a client's necessary daily medication for 3 days, causing the client's health to decline, that omission must be reported. Catching these specific scenarios, whether it is a suspicious bruise, a borrowed $20, or a missed pill, allows outside agencies to intervene before poor care practices escalate into severe, irreversible harm. Step 2 is ensuring safety. Before you fill out any forms, you must remove the client from immediate danger. If there is an active physical threat to their life, call 911. If the client is in a mental health crisis, call the 988 lifeline. Once the client is secure, you move to Step 3, the phone report. This diagram shows how your reporting timeline branches into 2 distinct paths depending on the severity of the incident, one for serious bodily injury and one for all other abuse. If the incident involves physical abuse resulting in a serious bodily injury, like broken bones or an injury requiring hospitalization, you follow the red path.
You have a maximum of 2 hours to make your phone report to local law enforcement, state licensing, and the long-term care ombudsman. For non-serious physical abuse, neglect, or financial exploitation, you follow the standard path. You must phone Adult Protective Services or law enforcement immediately, or as soon as practically possible. By assessing the physical toll of the incident and routing your call down the correct timeline path, you ensure that clients facing the most acute danger receive rapid, prioritized intervention from state authorities. Step 4 is notifying your supervisor. This is an informational step only. Your supervisor cannot cancel your report, and you must never wait for their approval or permission before calling the authorities yourself. If your supervisor happens to be the suspected abuser, you still make your phone report. Then, you simply route your internal notification around them, informing the next level of management or contacting state licensing directly. Step 5 is the written report. The deadline for submitting this form matches your phone call, within 2 hours for serious injuries and within 2 working days for all other incidents. You submit this form to the exact same agency you called on the phone. This is the SOC 341 form. When filling out this document, you are restricted strictly to the facts. You must document disclosures using the client's exact quotes, and you are strictly prohibited from adding your own assumptions, personal opinions, or medical diagnoses. Step 6 covers internal documentation and confidentiality. After filing the state forms, you must also submit an Amend internal incident report to the clinical director to complete the facility's quality assurance records. Once the paperwork is filed, you must maintain strict confidentiality. Do not confront the suspected abuser. Share details with uninvolved coworkers or attempt to clean or move anything that could serve as evidence. Recording objective facts and submitting your documents directly to the state bypasses any internal structural delays. This protects the integrity of the external investigation and maximizes the client's chance at a just resolution. To recap, the sequence is: ensure client safety, make the initial phone call, notify management, file your written SOC 341, complete your internal paperwork, and finally, maintain strict confidentiality. Navigating those 6 steps relies on a single golden rule at Amend Healthcare: when in doubt, report immediately. It is always better to file a report and be wrong than to stay silent and allow abuse to continue. When you report in good faith, California law provides you with absolute immunity from civil and criminal liability. It is also illegal for an employer to retaliate against you for fulfilling your reporting duties. Exercising this personal legal duty takes vigilance, but it is the most direct way to ensure Amend Healthcare remains a safe, positive, and protective environment for every person in our care.